G'day and welcome to ReDriven, now GTR. 3 letters that, thanks to over 50 years of development and evolution, inspire a pretty formidable reputation both on the street and on the racetrack. And look, there's no denying that Nissan's flagship sports car is now a true icon of the automotive world, but with over 5 decades of examples and variants, what are the best ever road-going GTR examples? Well look, we reached out to various GTR owners groups, GTR specialist mechanics and tuners, automotive journalists, and just GTR fans in general, and this list is a culmination of all of their votes. And look, I have to say, this was an incredibly close call. Only a handful of votes actually separated the top 10, let alone the top 5. In fact, we might actually technically have a tie between 3rd and 4th place. Anyway, here is the ReDriven top 5 GTRs of all time. Now, while the various GTR variants are all excellent in their own right in standard form, it's no secret that with a few modifications, these things can become completely different beasts. And in 5th place, this thing is a beast of a car. It's the Mines R34 GTR. When we reached out to the experts, a load of various tuner GTR suggestions flooded in. Brands like Veilside, Blitz, Endless, Trust, and M-Speed were just a few of the examples. But the one tuner GTR that popped up time and time again was the Mines R34. If you're a GTR fan, you've surely seen this footage of the squat white weapon of a car revving and tearing out of corners like its life depends on it. Decked out with basically the full catalogue of Mines tuning and weight reduction parts, there's clearly no denying that the Mines R34 is seriously quick, but the shorter diff ratios certainly don't go astray either. Look, while there are faster and more singularly focused GTRs out there these days, there's no denying that for many, the Mines R34 is the car that kicked off their GTR fascination in the first place. And for even that alone, we understand why so many people put it at the pointy end of their lists. Also, an R34 wearing those BBS rims? What a combination. Now, technically, we ended up with a tie between 3rd and 4th place, and we'll explain why this car's in 4th and the next car's in 3rd when we get to 3rd place. But in 4th place, it is the R32 V-Spec 2. The R32 inspired the now legendary Godzilla moniker thanks to its almost violent domination of motorsport in the late 80s and early 90s. And built to celebrate this success was the V-Spec, or Victory Specification. Where the original V-Spec featured larger BBS wheels and tyres, a retuned all-wheel drive system, Brembo brakes and lighter weight bonnet and front bar, the V-Spec 2 increased the tyre size again and recalibrated the all-wheel drive system even more. Yes, there are faster and rarer R32 models out there, but the V-Spec 2, the last official special edition R32 to be manufactured, was a clear favourite amongst those that we surveyed. Okay, so what car tied with the V-Spec 2? Well, it's the original GTR, the impossibly cool 1971 KPGC10, or Hakuska. Hakuska. I've definitely stuffed that up, I'm so sorry. Even though the KPGC10 tied the V-Spec 2, we just felt that the old-timer deserved 3rd place purely out of respect for your elders. Unlike the all-wheel drive, twin-turbo technical tour de force that made the GTR moniker so famous, the KPGC10 fulfills a classic performance car recipe. Rear-wheel drive, naturally aspirated straight 6 with a 5-speed manual gearbox and limited slip diff, hiding in a compact 2-door coupe body shell. But, like the V-Spec 2, this thing was built to showcase and celebrate the brand's racing pedigree, and thanks to the KPGC10's track success, it set the expectation that Skylines wearing a GTR badge were to forever dominate motor racing. They do have a negative, but to own one these days, be prepared to add many zeros to whatever number you've typed into those bank transfer details. These things are incredibly, but understandably, very expensive. Now, the gap between 1st and 2nd place came down to only 2 votes, but representing the R33 GTR, it's the Nismo 400R. This incredibly rare and powerful GTR takes the concept of a special edition and just turns it up to 11. Even though Nismo planned to build 100 400Rs to celebrate the Le Mans racing car, only 44 ever made it through production. And those that were created featured some truly incredible modifications over the excellent but least popular of the GTR generations, the R33. Engine-wise, the infamous RB26 was bored, stroked and fitted with a host of bespoke internal and external upgrades. So thorough were the modifications that it was actually renamed completely to become an RBX GT2. The chassis and brakes were enhanced to make the most of the incredible engine. And while the body may appear to many as a little over the top to say the least, the pumped wheel arches, copious vents and wings for days do provide genuine downforce and more air for this beast of a car to swallow up, turn into power and spit out as it demolishes all in front of it. And finally, you have those gorgeous 18-inch Nismo LM GT1 wheels, and those stickers down the side are so very 90s cool. Now guys, before we get to first place, if you're enjoying this video, can you please do us a favor and hit those like, subscribe and bell icon buttons? It helps us out so much. And after the video, go and check us out on the socials. Okay, in first place, and if you're a GTR fan, this may come as no surprise, it's the Nismo Z-Tune. The Z-Tune is not only the best GTR of all time, but this thing has to be up there as one of the all-time iconic performance cars ever made. But what makes the Z-Tune so special? Well, to start with, because production of the R34 had actually come to an end, Nismo had to go and purchase 20 specific spec and condition used R34 GTR V-spec models, 12 of which were found and purchased by Nismo, but 6 were donated by owners wishing to have their cars converted to Z-Tune. And what exactly is involved in this Z-Tune conversion? Well look, if we listed everything, this video would end up going for hours, but look, here's a quick overview, and it's incredible. First up, the entire car was essentially handmade and rebuilt from the ground up. The body was stripped, strengthened, stiffened and lightened. The wheel arches were widened, the aero package and carbon fiber body panels used GT500 racing car inspired and genuinely aerodynamically functional elements. The suspension, brakes and transmission were completely redesigned, again using racing technology. And then there's this thing's engine. Like the car itself, the engine was completely handcrafted using knowledge and components drawn from Nissan's Le Mans GT2 and GT500 programs. The RB26, now in Z1 form, was bored and straked out to 2.8 litres. The turbos were upgraded. The block was strengthened while every part, and look, the complete process in general, never took cost nor production time into consideration. It just had to be the ultimate GTR. Finally, Nismo injected an air of luxury, drenching the interior trim with leather and Alcantara, while the exterior was coated in an exclusive Z-Tune silver colour. Although, Z-Tune number 10 and 15 are both finished in Midnight Purple 3, and there are rumours that Z-Tune number 4 is actually finished in Millennium Jade, making it the rarest GTR of all and arguably the best ever. Now, what was a massive surprise to us when we were gathering the votes for this list is that while many R35 GTRs were suggested, none of them got even close to the top 5. In fact, the highest ranking R35 we had came in at 11th place. And we'd love to know your thoughts of why you think that is. Actually, let us know what you think of the list in general in the comments section below. And if you have enjoyed this video, can you please hit those like, subscribe and bell icon buttons and go and check us out on the socials. See you next time. What are the best road going examples? My batteries have gone flat. It's no secret that many R35 GTRs were suggested. GTRs. Now, what surprised us what was the surprise? I keep getting at like the last 4 words and just brain melting.